Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M10 RBFM. It's the French Tier 5 premium turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Abbey and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Now ProvoBob's actually on the Australian New Zealand server, which means sometimes you get bots, and I'm afraid in this battle he's got bots. Now, as you know, those bots sometimes can be slightly more dangerous than real players because they're very unpredictable. They don't do what real players are expected to do. Now, the M10 is basically a standard M10, but Wargaming have actually given it better stats than the M10 Wolverine, which is actually in the game, because it's a premium vehicle which was available if you completed the marathon on the D-Day anniversaries, the Overlord challenge, and if you did, you got it with a special camouflage as well, but it looks like ProvoBob didn't. He's applied a different camouflage to his M10. Now it's got a 3-inch gun, the M7, which is capable of doing 115 alpha, penetrating 130 millimeters of armor with the standard AP rounds. If I can get my cursor over it. There you go, 115, 130. With the APCR rounds, it'll go through 170 millimeters of armor, which is quite a lot at tier 5. It's a tier 5 game. And he's also got some HE rounds, which will do 185 alpha, and they penetrate through 38 millimeters. A few blind shots just to see if somebody's there. Yes, there is somebody there. Oh, first shot goes to one side. That's better. Hit the turret of that M8A1 Scott. That one hit the tracks. Now he's got a B1. Char B1. No, wrong angle, so it's bouncing. That's better. Yeah, you easily go through the front of that vehicle. And, well, he did get one through the side. Could try it again. Nope, didn't get that one in. Now, 36 M10s were given to the French, and they used them from 1943 to 1944, and they had pretty good results. In fact, one of them had that spectacular victory on the Champs-Élysées, where the French gunner took out a Panther tank at over, was it 3,000 meters? And he did it very effectively because he knew the exact distance of the Champs-Élysées, so he knew exactly how far it was to the target. Normally, ranging your target is the most difficult thing in any battle, but he knew exactly, precisely how long that road was, so he can actually set his sights to the correct settings, and he got him straight away. Now it has a crew of 5, and it uses a diesel engine, which is actually a General Motors 6046 Series 71 engine. And why is that so special? Well, it's special because it's 2 engines in one, in a kind of U shape, and they can disconnect one of the engines and the other one will still operate. So it's a bit, it's got redundancy, like the Chrysler motor gun. Oh, nice shot! And he's got a chance of a Stug now. That's a real player, you can tell from the way he's reacting. We lost the Su-85, but the Stug's in a whole world of trouble now. There's not a lot of places you can hide, and those shells are going straight through his roof. Go for it again. No, not getting hits now, so you're going to have to get closer. Now basically the M10 is very similar to the M4, but it has very much weaker armour. And the reason for that was they were trying to save weight on the actual vehicle to make it faster. It's got a top speed of 48 kilometers an hour, but it's only got half-inch armour around the outside, and they actually did put the bushings in. Oh, there's the Stug. One shot and see to him. Now we lost the driver, but we'll fix that shortly, I think. Yep, he's fixed it. And you can see the cullen cutters on the front of the vehicle as well, which can be used in the bocage to cut through the hedges around Normandy area, which famously were actually stopping the Allied forces from getting at the Germans and providing nice little traps which the Germans could use to catch out the British, or the British and the French and the Americans. So they had to devise these little cutters at the front of the vehicle called cullen cutters, and they were built from the Czech crosses, the hedgehogs that they used on the beaches. And some of the members pointed out they have plenty of those lying around, so they just chopped them up with oxyacetylene and built the crosses to actually put on the front of the vehicles, welded them on, and they did it in a huge number of vehicles. They were working night and day to get the vehicles ready, and it looks like ProvoBob's going to try and cap, because it may be that the enemy forces aren't going to react to this. Now, there are a couple of real players. A VK, that's a real player. There's a Panzersebsfahrerfett 1C. He's a real player, but the rest are bots. So there's only 2 live players who might realise what the problem is. And it looks to me like both of the real players are up the other end of the map. And they're facing a Fifi and a Type. Well, the Type just got killed. Type T-34. And I think the VK is probably making his way back right now, but he's very... Oh, no, he's not. He's still up there. So unless the enemy gets all 3 tanks into the cap area, I don't think they're going to be able to cap out. And given that only 2 of those players are actually live players, they may not be able to do that. Now, they built 6,406 of these tank destroyers. Oh, here comes the enemy. Now, he bounced that round, killed that guy. That was a bot. That's a bot coming towards him as well, the M5A1. Well, he's not coming away, he's actually going away, it looks like. Well, no, he's coming towards us now. Oh, and another kill. That means 5 kills, and he's almost capped out. And he's done it. And he capped out, and I think there was more than 5 enemy left. And with only 1 second before the enemy capped out, he's won the game. So there was definitely more than 5. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats and we'll see how well he did. And here's the end of battle results, and it was a second-class tanker for ProvoBob in the M10 RBFM. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 17 in that one. But look at this. He got the medal everyone would like to get. The Kolobanov for standing alone against at least 5 enemy and defeating them. In fact, he stood alone against 6 enemy tanks and killed 2 of them who were trying to come and reset him, got rid of them. In fact, he survived a bounce while he was sitting in the cap with his thin armour. Yep, that enemy tank must have fired into his tracks, and, well, the shell was eaten up without actually any damage being done whatsoever. And as a consequence, he managed to cap out and win when the enemy only had 1 second left, and they would have beaten him on the, or they would have forced a draw on the battle. But because he won the cap out, he actually got his Kolobanov, and he got an Invader medal as well for capping out and getting at least 80 capture points in the process. And his win rate from the battle was 4,871, which is Super Unicum standard. So incredibly well done in that one. He had the presence of mind to actually get into the cap and start capping when he was completely outnumbered, and well, his teammates at the other end died. The enemy did get into the cap, which is surprising, because normally when there's only 2 real players and the rest are all bots, the bots don't know to cap unless they follow whoever the live player is. And in this case, they did get into the cap, but it was just too late, and the bots that came back, they just weren't able to get a reset in time. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in that game, he didn't get the highest damage. The VK3001H managed to get a high caliber for 2,314 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was ProvoBob with 1,648, so not bad in there in terms of damage that he actually did. And when it came to kills, he got the highest with 5 kills. 3 kills went to the VK, and the rest only have 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, he managed to get the highest with 1,039 because he was on the winning team. But the second highest was actually the VK3001H with 607. And then the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 1C on his own team with 374. As you can see, there was only 6 players on each side that were real. The rest were all bots, and well, in fact, at the end of the game, you can see these were the only 2 real players on the enemy team left. There was only 4 players left alive on the enemy team in total at the end of the game, but the 2 tanks that came back to attack him, yes, were both bots, and they just did not aim correctly or use the correct ammunition. They should have used HE, and that would have guaranteed a reset near enough if they'd aimed it in the right spot. But they didn't, and so ProvoBob won the game for his team all alone. Let's have a look at the detail report. 39 shots fired, 25 direct hits, 17 penetrations, damage of 1,648 hit points, of which 1,394 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see it is a long-range sniper. The M10 is very good at doing that, and with the stats that Wargaming have given the M10 RBFM, it's very easy to get a lot of damage and with very accurate shooting. He received 2 hits and 1 non-penetration. That was the one right at the end, and 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. That was, I think, the shot from the Stug, who actually hit him with HE round rather than the standard AP. And I think the reason he thought for doing that was because the M10 has very thin armor. He felt it would actually do more damage, and it did actually do more damage than a standard AP round would have done. 70 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5, and he got 100 cap points for capping out. On a premium count, he earned 48,629 credits, got 40,000 for completing the mission, total of 88,629 altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he took away a profit of 36,903 credits. He earned 1,558 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 3,118 for completing a mission and events, and 624 because this is a premium vehicle, took away 6,859 experience points altogether. So it just goes to show sometimes, even if you're all alone, you can get into the cap and force the enemy to take a particular position, which is actually they had to try and cap as well to catch up, but they were just too late. And of course the tanks that came back were just incapable of getting a reset because they were bots. And it's surprising to see bots try and come back and get a reset, because normally bots don't do that. They just ignore you unless you actually shoot at them. But in this case, they did actually come back to the cap, but they just didn't shoot correctly and get that reset in time. So very well done to ProvoBob. Interesting game, and it's an interesting tank actually. I rather like the M10 RBFM. I think a lot of people, when it came out, they thought, an M10? They're giving us an M10 for free? But they didn't realise how really good this tank actually happens to be. It is a fabulous little tank destroyer, and a very interesting tank as well, considering it only cost $47,900 to make one of these during the Second World War. I think they're valued a lot higher than that right now. And if you could find one which was actually used by the French during the war, I think that would be worth a fortune. But yeah, very good one there. Nice one. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.